Hello sir, first of all I want to introduce myself. My name is Runana Mingat from 802205B. So here today, I want to present my final year project proposal, and the title is The Effect of Apple Cider Vinegar and Aspirin as a Marketing Hormone on Rose Apple. Okay, now we move to introduction. The rose apple is a fruit native to Malaysia, Indonesia, and the Indian subcontinent in South Asia. Various other names are known, such as water apple, Jamaican apple, wax jambu, and bear fruit. It is a fruit shape like a bear that may be red, yellow, or green in color. It is identical to guava and nut. As the name implies rose or apple, the ripened rose apple is a crisp with a sweet and slightly bitter taste from the outside. The rose apple tree is a vegetative propagate and can grow within 4 years. Fruit mature 4 months after flowering, but if moisture and sunlight are not optimal, the yield will be low. Usually, the rose apple is reproduced by seed. The seed inside ripe fruit are used for planting. Asexual method of planting rose apple can be applied. This method includes cutting, mock-cutting, air layering, and grafting, which require hormone to induce rooting. So the problem statement in this study, the rooting hormone are quite expensive at the market. The seller did sell it in by weight kilogram. In Malaysia, it is RM7.69 per 50 gram. The farmer need to save budget and usually avoid the use of rooting hormone due to the price. Next is due to farmer lack of knowledge on how to do the marketing without using the rooting hormone, depend on the used resources in the house, but they do not have a success rate. The farmer need to take another initiative by buying the rooting hormone. The farmer from rural areas, it is hard to get the rooting hormone supply. And then is root using seed for reproducing take time to mature. Usually it taking until 4 years to mature and low yield. The best solution is to identify high yielding mother stock and propagate through marketing. Now the question is, will apple cider vinegar or aspirin work well as a rooting hormone? The objective of this study is first to check the maturity period of the wax produced of rose apple tree, then to investigate the effects of the apple cider or aspirin as a rooting hormone for planting material of rose apple using marketing method. Significance of these studies. This study helped to determine the use of apple cider vinegar and aspirin as a rooting hormone on rose apple. If successful, they can be an alternative to commercial. The rooting hormone at the market, which is quite expensive compared to resources at home such as apple cider vinegar and aspirin. Now we move to limitation and scope. Limitation of these studies. The limitation of these studies is lack of information from research on the time for rose apple to produce roots by using home necessity such as apple cider vinegar and aspirin as a rooting hormone. And the scope of these studies. This research will be conducted at the garden at Setapang, Selangor. This research will focus on the marketing, monitoring time taken for either apple cider vinegar or aspirin as a rooting hormone to produce root. We move to literature review. Propagation of rose apple tree. The seeds are polyembryonic, producing 1 to 4 sprouts. Germination takes 10 to 25 days to start and lasts up to 120 days. By Voigt 1914, Westwood 1943, Smith and River 2002. Another dent. After 1 week of drying, the viability of seed remains high. Since Smith and River 2002, but there is no such thing. Trees copies freely when cut a vegetative spread may occur by layering. Various methods of propagation are described by Motto 1987. Continue with literature review. Apple cider vinegar as a rooting hormone. Commercial rooting compounds are versatile products available in the form of gel, liquid, and powder. They are made of auxin that are naturally occurring plant hormone. While auxin are generated naturally, most commercial products contain auxin made in laboratories. These products are considered safe when used in limited quantities, but organic gardeners also tend to avoid chemicals in the garden. Instead, they prefer to cultivate plants with organic rooting hormones such as vinegar. Mary Hess Dyer, 2020. Using of apple cider to help speed up the rooting process of succulent cutting, apple cider vinegar is widely used as a weed killer in organic gardening. But need to do is use a little apple cider vinegar. Too much will prevent rooting. Jane Slim, 2020. Before this, I showed the apple cider vinegar as a rooting hormone, and now aspirin as a rooting hormone. 20% gum arabic and honey for pill L1 320 mg, L1 aspirin, and for pizza L1 0.72 mg. L1 were related to the best rooting of the cutting as compared to other treatment and control. Meram Fakti, Hosensari, Freya Bastes, Volume 7, Issue 3, Series Number 3, Summer 2017. And then, treatment of cutting with acetic lactic acid in conjunction with IAA can be of use in the spread of woody plant. Akbulut and Yigit, 2013. Methodology and experimental design. There are two types of treatment involved in this study that I choose is T1 for apple cider vinegar, T2 for aspirin. Planting material and equipment: rose apple tree, apple cider vinegar, aspirin, sharp cutter, plastic wrap, wire tie, cockpit or swell. In here, I include Render Complete Block Design RCVD, including of 4 treatment for replication, and the total of the experiment is 16 procedure. First of all, I will start with plant and shoot selection. Choose a shoot of rose apple tree with plenty of leaf that healthy. The size of the stem at the part to be rooted is generally about that of an ordinary pencil, but is not essential. Both the thickness and length of the stem vary depending on the plant part to be layered, which are trunk, branch or twig, the intended size of the marketed plant to be procedure and the plant species. The next step is breeding and scarping. Shrub and semi-woody plant, a strip of bark preferably as close as possible below a knot, moving the sharp cutter or knife into circular motion around the stem. A similar cut is made generally about 2 to 5 cm below the first cut, but it can be wider, larger stem. Then the two cuts are connected by a straight cut and the bark is pried loose and removed. The third step is slitting and wedging. The cut has traversed the horizontal line that marks the node at the point about halfway of the thickness of the stem and terminate above the same node. In other words, the slanting cut must be able to sever the horizontal connection of the node. Fourth step, placing and skewering the plant hormone. Fourth step is placing and skewering the rooting hormone. amount of cocoa peat placed around the duck bird, steam and wrapped with a piece of plastic sheet. A transparent plastic sheet is preferred to be able to see later if roots have developed. Both ends of the plastic sheet are gathered and tied securely against the stem, with one end under the bottom of part of the debunked stem, which is its lower cut, and the other of a short distance above the upper cut should be covered with a rooting medium because it is form this cut that rooting form. This mock coating technique is more convenient and applied with mock coating or rooting medium which crumble if not healed by the hand. Fifth, separation of mock coat from the parent plant. The root shoots are severed from the parent. When plenty of roots have developed, new shoots will have sprout from portion of the stem immediately. In this, the root occur at least 15 days from mock coating. Last but not least, potting. Move the mock coat shoot is immediately pot into suitable container. The intensity of care that will ensure the successful establishment of the layer will depend on the various factors such as size of the shoot and profusenousness of shoot. We almost reached the end of this presentation. Gantt chart. First, setting up the experiment and then apply treatment use. Apply the treatment 1 using Epicidal and treatment 2 using aspirin. And then move to the next step is check the number of root and rate the percentage of success, which is take the monitoring of root length. Then move to data analysis and discussion, thesis write-up and submission. Parameter of research. In this study, several growth parameters will be recorded, which are number of root and length of the root. Expected outcome from this research. Growth of root they produce will be improved significantly through the treatment that have been chosen. Hopefully, this research can improve the knowledge for farmers to use of this treatment instead buying the rooting hormone. Other than that, this mock coating using this treatment can improve yield of the farmer and limit the expenses. So that's all from me. Thank you.